Once again, it is time for a little R&R with Rick and Ryan. I'm Rick.
Hi, Brian.
And with special guest, Kristen.
Hello.
With this episode, we're going to be discussing a couple different things. We're going to be going over last week's episode of Season 8, Episode 2 of Game of Thrones. And then we're also going to discuss Avengers Endgame. So if you haven't watched either one of those, you might want to stop listening now. I'm going to turn the mic over to Ryan and let him begin. And here we go.
All right. We're going to start with Game of Thrones, Episode 2. Okay. So, I guess we're just going to start from the very beginning of the episode and work our way through. It's going to be full spoilers, and we are going to just talk about how we felt, what we liked, what we didn't like, so on and so forth as we do. Let's just say the episode starts out with Jaime Lannister among the court in Winterfell. It's pretty good. I enjoyed this episode, and there's not really anything bad in this episode. The season has been strong so far, so we're going to go back to Jaime Lannister in the court. Yeah. So, I can't really...
He's pretty much begging for his life.
He's not essentially begging for his life, but he's just telling him, just like, Tyrion fucked up. He believed his sister, and the facts are no one's coming. It's just Jaime Lannister. Then... Daenerys is being a bitch, but he's earned it. He's earned everyone's dismay of him because he's done some fucked up shit. As they roll called, you did this, you did this, you did this. And, oh shit, he did do all that. And he threw Bran out the window in episode 1. Of course, Bran quotes what he said, which was just metal.
Yeah.
And then we move on. What's the next highlight of the episode? There's a lot of humorous parts of this episode.
Humor before the storm.
Yeah. Tormund shows up to Winterfell, and the first thing he wants to know is if the big woman is still there, which is just wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
After he knocks Jon down from hugging him to death.
Yeah, that's true. And Michael Scott's him.
Yeah. Sansa and Daenerys' conversation.
That's right. Sansa and Daenerys had a conversation that started good.
Yeah.
But did not end positive. And
Daenerys was trying to assert her, what do you call it, her dominance over her, but Sansa wasn't having it.
No. So,
I think Sansa's pretty much sick of everything being walked over, all the shit that she's had to go through.
Dude. Every character on this show has had, even if you hated a certain character at one point, you wind up respecting said character. Mm-hmm. And Sansa is probably the biggest contributor of this, because she, in the first few seasons, just sucked.
Mm-hmm.
So she's pretty metal now.
She was practically a child.
Yes, but so was Arya. Arya has always been metal.
Yeah.
It's just a character she had to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she's come a long way. Gosh. What do you think, Richard, so far of the episode 2?
I liked it. Yeah, you've pretty much covered all the highlights up until, I guess about halfway through the first episode. And then I did like that Jaime, when he was addressing the court, at Winterfell, that he knew very well that they could cut him down at any time and it would be over. But he still had the balls to show up and lay it all out. Like, nobody else is coming. It's just me. I know everybody hates me, but I'm here. You might need an extra, I can't say pair of hands, but and then the dynamic between Tormund and, well, pretty much anybody he interacts with.
Yeah.
It's just, and it doesn't go out of its way to be humorous. It's just, is humorous. And
I thought the conversation with Bran and Jamie was amazing.
yes.
It was kind of like Jamie was apologizing, but not apologizing, but Bran wasn't having it. He was like, I am who I am today because you pushed me out of a window.
Yeah.
So thanks for that.
Was he? No, I don't know if it was necessarily being shitty. He's just like, if you didn't push me out the window,
No,
I
that's what I'm
wouldn't be
saying.
the
Like,
three-eyed raven
thanks.
now.
Yeah, I wouldn't be here,
Because of.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be the three-eyed raven if you hadn't done this.
Yeah, so I think he was forgiven / is what it is.
Let's flash forward to the big moment of the episode where they're all sitting around the campfire, so to speak.
Yeah.
And
Excellent. I mean, before you even get to this episode had a lot of great character moments.
mm-hmm.
It was a feel-good episode before tonight's. So that being said, the campfire where, oh my gosh, a bunch of B players and a couple A players were all sitting around the campfire just bullshitting, which is, I could watch that episode every week, I think. Who was there? It was Tyrion. Tyrion, Jamie,
Brienne,
Sir Davos,
Podrick.
Podrick, thank you. And I feel like there was, and Tormund.
Yeah.
And, fucking Tormund. Him and Jamie were having back and forth over Brienne, which is pretty awesome. Tormund killed a giant, then went and laid with his wife and sucked on her tit.
And that's why he became so strong.
That's how he became so strong. That's why they call him Tormund Giantsbane. Which is just hilarious.
And then he proceeds to drink out of the horn.
Yeah.
And it just kind of runs all down his beard and pretty much everywhere. And everybody just kind of stares at him in repulsion. Is that a
Yeah,
word?
probably.
And it just, the whole scene just works.
It does. And so after that, say Brienne. Did Brienne bring it up or did someone else bring it up? She always wanted to be a knight. No.
Tyrion brought it up.
Tyrion called her Sir.
Right.
But it's a knight. And finally, James just like, fuck it.
Like, you don't.
A knight can make a knight, and
Yeah.
by God, you're worthy of being a knight.
And then proceeded to knight her. And
Which just gives you all the good feelings.
yeah.
Yeah, gives all the feels right there. And, she smiles and tears up. And it's everything you've ever wanted.
Yep. And then I guess you could call it the elephant in the room.
Mm-hmm.
When Arya decided to.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
The episode that you do not need to sit and watch with your wife because it gets a little awkward. Because you didn't know. Because I've never, I guess we can cut this out if it doesn't sound right. Just like, I don't think I've ever sexually thought about Arya.
Right. That was where I was going with that as well.
I mean, it's not that she's not a cute girl or anything, but it's just like, we watched her grow up on screen, and I just never anticipating seeing any nude part of her body for the rest of my life. And she took it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, this is happening, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, she was going to get fucked whether he wanted to or not.
And I think he did.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus Christ, woman.
I'm not really buying them. I was just looking to see how much it would be total.
Fuck. Like, we can get those small buckets. I know we're complete ADD right here. We get those little water buckets.
Or you could go to the dollar store and get a bunch of white dollar store garbage cans and get a $1 can of red spray paint.
Well, it doesn't have to be red. I was just.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway.
Okay, we're talking about like a big,
Art.
giant game of beer pong.
We're going to cut this out, don't you
Anyway,
worry. Yeah,
who
so
is the ADD?
Arya gets severely laid,
Yeah.
which is which is also sweet because they've been building that up for seasons.
Yeah, and it may be the only time she ever gets to.
Clearly since season 3.
Okay. Well, we've ran through that part. Now let's run to, I guess, the final, like, here's a little something for next week. Jon reveals to Daenerys that he is a Targaryen. And she doesn't really care that they committed incest as much that he's heir to the throne.
Right. Well, I mean, in that universe, the incest thing's not really.
It's frowned upon, but they're kind of like, yeah.
It's kind of like Kentucky. Nobody really talks about it, but we all know what happens.
I know.
Not that big of a deal. I joke, of course, but you understand what I'm talking about.
Uh-huh. Anyone that fucks my sister is gonna be me. Yeah, so there's a little there's a little issue there, with the zero chemistry that those two have with each other. Hopefully this kind of murders that. Because those two have zero chemistry. I'll just have to say.
Yeah, we covered that last time, but yeah.
I know, it's just nothing there.
It's like a struggle for them to interact with each other on screen.
Yeah. So there you go. That is episode 2 of Game of Thrones. And
we forgot the whole the final scene of that episode.
yes, they're getting ready to go to war.
Yeah, but I'm just saying the
Okay, the White Walkers have made it to Winterfell, and episode 3 theoretically is going to be the entire battle. And since our props are still up for grabs, technically I have Tormund, that's going to die first. You have Reek.
Theon, Reek.
You got Theon, and she has.
I don't even remember.
Checking the archives. Be right back.
Yeah.
I figured she was.
Oh, the
Red Woman. That's
yeah.
right. Have we even seen her?
She's
No.
there.
No, she's not.
No, like I saw something like she's there. She just hasn't made her presence known yet.
Mm.
I forgot how much of a bitch she was.
Yeah, she was kind of a hoot. So the Red Woman, Melisandre. We still have the King to deal with, so that's to be coming, and
Arya's death.
and if Arya dies.
If she does die, it won't be by a White Walker.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Did I send y'all the meme of the Night King sitting on a throne and everybody's eyes are blue?
No, I did not see that.
I thought I sent it to you all. I must have sent it to my sister.
Okay, that's done. So, yay. All right, now.
Do you have anything you would like to add, Kristen?
I pretty much butted in where need be.
She does that.
Okay.
I love her.
Mm-hmm.
All right, moving on to Avengers Endgame.
Avengers Endgame, baby. Full of spoilers, obviously. Where do you want to start?
I didn't know. I'm going to jump in on that.
All right, go for it.
In the beginning, everything, which I get it after they did the whole 5 years later, when Tony came back, they were just like, we're going to go do this. We're going to go kill Thanos. We're going to go. I mean, it was just kind of boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
And then I was like, they done chopped his damn head off. What the heck? Like, now what are they going to do?
Yes.
And then 5 years later, it was kind of like, oh, I see what y'all did there.
Yeah.
Very
Okay.
nice.
Well, spoilers.
Oh, yeah.
This movie
Thanos dies in the beginning.
was bold in its choices. And 90% of it worked.
I'm still a little salty. But,
So like Kristen said, 15 minutes into the movie, Thanos dies.
At the hands of Thor.
And it was fucking metal too.
yeah, he was kind of like, yeah, you're done talking.
Let's see, let's start from the beginning. You know, all the teasers and trailers essentially showed the first 15 minutes of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
The entire rest of the movie, complete mystery, and I was glad that happened. So let's start from the beginning.
Keep talking, I'll show
Tony,
you.
That's pretty dope.
Tony Stark. Oh, that's pretty cool. Tony Stark is out in space with
Nebula.
Thank you. And that's from the teaser. And it's, you know, it's a little different, but it's pretty much the same.
Yeah.
And Captain Marvel shows up and saves them and takes them back to Earth, which is cool and stuff. So they're on Earth. Everyone's on Earth. It's pretty grim. There's a Build-A-Bear joke with Rocket, which is kind of funny. And Tony's like, I'm done. I'm out. And then they leave. So everyone else who lived in Infinity War, they go to the planet that Thanos is on. Because they found
Titan.
out. No, he's not on
No,
Titan.
he's not on Titan. That's right.
He's in, I don't know where they are. I forget them. It doesn't really matter what they're in. So, you know, Thanos is fucked up. And you find out why Thanos is fucked up after he's attacked. Thor cuts his arm off, so he can't use the gauntlet again. But then you quickly find out that he no longer has the stones, because he destroyed the stones. And Thor's like, fuck it. Cut his head off. Which is, like I said, that was fucking metal. And then, boom, 5 years later.
Yep.
Yep. And let's see, you know, 5 years later, you know, the world's,
Shit.
well, the world,
Has moved on.
yeah, let's go with that. The world's moved on, and whales are in the Hudson rivers because humanity is, you know, technically, you know, don't get me wrong.
Thanos did us a favor.
Don't get me wrong. I would hate.
I'm pretty sure the Scientologists are still around.
I would hate what, you know, the after effects, whether I died or just went away or had to deal with the loss of people I love. But
Dude, Hawkeye.
Thanos wasn't exactly wrong.
No.
No. I hate humanity.
We really do need a good, like, plague or a purge or something.
Purge.
Nah, just a plague.
I would like to do that. I would like to be in charge of that. So I can choose who goes away.
You really?
Yes.
You want to be a Nazi?
Okay,
No,
I was
why?
going to say you're going to be Hitler.
And we go back to
I
Hitler.
wouldn't-
I was going to say, how does all the RnRs go to Hitler?
I wouldn't kill a bunch of people just because of a certain race or religion.
Really? You wouldn't kill people in their 20 to 30 range?
No. We have some of them. I mean, anyway, that got dark really fast.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Thanos wasn't all wrong. He wasn't all right, but he wasn't all wrong. So, the world's actually getting better. The Earth is curing itself. But everyone's sad. And then, by chance, fucking Ant-Man gets out of the quantum realm because of a rat.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And then, you know, that's essentially where the movie actually starts. He goes to...
If it wasn't for Ant-Man.
Right. If it wasn't for the rat.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Splinter.
So, go on, Rick. Ant-Man.
Ant-Man shows up at the Avengers hideout. and practically just gives them the idea of using the quantum realm to jump into different spots in time to get the Infinity Stones before Thanos was able to get them to undo everything that he did.
Which, is probably... I mean, I know it's the entire plot is based on this, but I was like, I hate that we have to go this direction for this to work, but, all right, whatever. It's fine. But that's one thing I probably did not like, is the fact that time travel and all that nonsense, but they make it work as best they can. So they go see Tony, which I like to add that even though half the world's population is gone, at least the engineers at Audi are still making these fine cars.
Yes.
I noticed that immediately. I'm just like, I think the snap would have probably took some of these people out.
Yeah.
So they're making all these eco-friendly cars and shit, and they have the brand new ones because that's what you do. So they show up at Tony's house out in the woods, which is a metal. I love that house. I want to live there. And Tony's alive. Pepper's alive.
And they have a kid.
5-year-old Morgan, who is just adorable.
Mm-hmm.
So they go to Tony. He's like, hey, we can time travel. We can do this. We can do that. And he's like, dude, I'm good. Like, yeah, it sucks everyone's gone and stuff, but hey, I'm living the life.
He's afraid that if they do the time travel
He's
stuff, that he's going to lose everything that he's gained over the past 5 years.
She's not wrong. So, spoilers. So he's like, you guys fuck off. And then later on that night, he's doing the dishes, and he notices a picture of Peter Parker, which he's still carrying around the guilt that he got Peter Parker involved and Peter Parker died. Spoilers. So
You didn't see Infinity War by now.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, he died in Infinity War, and he still carries around the guilt of his death. So he's like, all right, let me figure out time travel.
Without losing my kid.
And shockingly, he figures it out. He's like, all right, fuck it. So he goes to Avengers headquarters. And in the meantime, the Avengers go meet up with Hulk.
Oh, God. Okay, I do not like what they did with Hulk.
I don't either.
I cannot stand it.
Watching the movie, I know why they had to go that direction. Because there's certain scenes that they required, like a non-smashy Hulk, someone with a little brain power, and I think that's the only way they could go. So Bruce Banner has figured out how to become the Hulk and Bruce Banner together. So it's a
best of both worlds.
Smart Hulk, yes. Which, yeah, did not work out quite as well as I hoped. Like, I don't think anything really hurts this movie, but
That's why Hulk was not in any of the trailers or anything.
yeah, they wanted to keep that surprise. So, and I was surprised. So they have to enlist Hulk. Let's just call him Banner or whatever. Everyone knows who the Hulk is. No.
I'm watching her.
Yeah. So, okay. And they have a little humorous scene where Ant-Man goes into the quantum realm, becomes a child, becomes an old man, and whatever.
While they're testing out time travel.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. So Tony shows up, and, suddenly they make it work. So they decide to go, and they figure out that during the original Avengers plot,
and Natasha goes and gets Hulk out.
Yeah.
Hawkeye shows up.
Ronin.
Ronin. Not the accuser, though.
But
Not
he was just-
Ronin. Ronin.
Ronin?
A samurai without a master.
Okay. Do they refer to him as that in the movie?
Not in the, I don't think they do in the movie.
Well, there you go. Fuck me. But yeah. I don't guess we have to go plot like.
No.
No.
I mean, basically,
So essentially, I've told you the first act.
yeah, and it kind of that's where it brings the movie to where it takes off.
I
Yeah.
kind of like though the time travel and kind of like a nod to the previous movies.
Yeah. It was kind of to me as I was watching it, it was kind of like the MCU greatest hits.
Yeah. And
Plus, we got to see Loki. Again.
which brings me to the part I really was trying to drive toward. Thor.
Yes.
The direction they went with Thor in this movie, I respect it.
Yeah.
And I think we've discussed, I don't know if we even discussed on RnR how much I think Chris Hemsworth has a career in Hollywood. I believe he's got the ability to become the next Brad Pitt.
Which is messed up since his brother almost got that part.
Yeah.
Oh, well, he's bold. So, yeah, the direction they go with Chris Hemsworth in this, Thor in this movie is they make him look like me. Chubby. And, he's still the God of Thunder, so he still packs a punch. But, yeah, he's got all the physical traits of myself. He's got big titties, big old gut, and almost not necessarily a bushy. His beard was bigger than mine. So, I love it.
Yeah.
Anyone who wanted to see muscle-bound Thor,
Yeah, he's still muscle bound. It just has a layer over top of that as well.
I did think it was kind of weird that
That's
the new
what I tell
Asgard reminded me of the town jumping into DC for Aquaman.
yeah,
You know? Yeah.
yeah, Nordic, yeah. So yeah, so Thor is fat, and they force Thor the Dark World down your throat.
Yeah.
Because that's where they go to in time to get the Power Stone?
No.
The red one.
The ether.
Whatever. The Ether.
Is it the Power Stone?
No, the Power Stones. The red one is the Reality Stone.
Reality Stone.
They go to get the Reality Stone because
Mm.
Jane she got stabbed by her. It doesn't matter. He has a good encounter with his mom, who we all know dies in Thor: The Dark World, and blah 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 blah. And he gets Mjolnir back. There's too many vowels. Mjolnir.
Mjolnir.
Mjolnir. Anyway, he gets his hammer back, which you wonder why he gets the hammer back.
It's his hammer.
Yeah, he's already got the other hammer, or he's already got the axe. The hammer comes back because one of the best moments of the movie that comes in the third act, which we'll get to momentarily. So essentially, it's great. What happens? So essentially, this is how Thanos factors back into the movie. Nebula goes back to the Guardians of the Galaxy time, and somehow her and her past self get intertwined, and Thanos gets wise to this and sends back the bad Nebula from his time, and all hell breaks loose. So they go back to Earth after they get all the stones. We're skipping over a lot of stuff.
Yeah, you are.
Well, I mean, we're getting the high part.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
anyone who sees this knows or seen it know what we're talking about. I wanted us to get fuck it. I just want to get to the point where Thanos and Thor are fighting, and Thanos is about to dig that axe into his.
Well, hold on. Before we get there,
Jesus.
Black Widow dies getting the Soul Stone.
Yes, she doesn't come back.
Yeah.
And Hulk uses the new gauntlet after they get the stones and brings everyone back because he's the only one who could survive it. And Thanos comes back from comes back in time, which is just awesome. Everything about it's just awesome. I love it so much.
It was really nice when all the
portals. Yeah.
were opening up, and it was just like, you know, these people, and then like
No.
when Peter Parker came back.
No, I want to talk about the fight first before we get to all the goosebumps. Fucking just like Thor's getting ready to get killed by Thanos with his own axe, then he gets smacked in the head with Mjolnir. And I'm just like, no. And you just see Mjolnir come back to fucking Cap's hands, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
And Thor was just like, I knew it.
Just all the feels.
But you knew something was up because Avengers 2, when they were all trying to pick up the hammer, and Cap actually moved it a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Cap is worthy of having the hammer. And Cap works it a little bit, but, you know, then proceeds to get the shit beat out of him. And, you know, he's broke, and the shield's all torn and broken up. Fucking all of Thanos' children, the big snake flying creature things. What are those?
I don't know.
I don't know what they're
The
called.
Chitauri.
Yeah, there you go. That entire army shows up. I mean, everyone from Avengers and Avengers Infinity War, all the enemies show up. And there's just that moment where you just see Cap versus that entire group. And instead of just running off, he tightens what's left of that shield. And it's like, all right, I can do this all day. Then, you know, he hears Sam. And you hear on your left. It's, you know, just could have whipped it out and just start jerking it right there. And then, you know, fucking everyone shows up. Everyone shows up. Everyone who died. I mean, literally everyone who's part of the MCU shows up.
Mm-hmm. Even Pepper Potts.
Even Pepper Potts.
Not everybody shows up.
Well, everyone who lived, you know, whoever died from the snap. But I swear, the one part that bothers me about this movie, and it's not because of what it is, but it felt like it was so forced. It's just like, Captain Marvel shows up, and she shows up to Peter Parker, who lives, and he's got the gauntlet, and she's just like, I'll take it. And he's like, how are you going to get through all that? Then, like, every woman in the MCU is just like, we'll take care of it. I'm like, I don't care. I appreciate girl power. It's not, I have no problem with women being strong. You don't have to force that, though. And that felt so forced.
I didn't think it felt forced.
It was forced.
I'm just never going to get my moment where Piper dies.
No,
and
you're
stays
never.
dead.
Piper,
Piper, whatever.
And I was just like,
I don't like her. Period. The actress, I just don't like her.
I tell you, I've never really been a fan of her acting. But I'm going to go and skip forward since Game of Thrones starts in 11 minutes, so that's why we're kind of rushing through now.
I'm going to go hit record on it just so we have it, just in case.
Alrighty then.
The one thing I've never liked her as an actress, but when Tony, in a clever scene, kind of got the Infinity Stones onto his Iron Man glove, and he snapped all of Thanos and his people out of existence. Of course, spoilers, kills Tony. And as Tony's lying there catatonic / dying, she gives probably one of the best line deliveries she's ever had. Now I can't think of what the fucking line is, though.
You can rest now?
No, it's just like, Tony, we're going to be okay.
Yeah,
I've never, ever appreciated her as an actress, but that line reading was just right.
Yeah.
It's going to make me sad. And, of course, fucking little Peter Parker, good-ass actor that he is. Jesus Christ. I mean, he gives you all the feels. And you're like, you little dick. He's so good.
It's hard to not let the tears flow.
Oh, my Lord. He's good. And she was good. And it was just like, and he is doing a great job because I'm glad he didn't say anything. It was brilliant not to even let him have a line. Just sit here and just die. And, the movie doesn't end there, actually. It takes a Return of the King sort of, we're going to end this movie a couple times. So they have a little funeral for Tony, and they have an excellent character moment with Tony's daughter and Happy Hogan.
Oh, and if you're wondering who that random kid at the funeral,
he's from Iron Man 3. Yeah. Well, CK knew that right off the bat. I'm like, how did you know? So, yeah. So the kid from Iron Man 3 comes. That's how much they respect the audience in this movie.
They cover all the bases.
Yeah. And then, Captain America, he's got to go take all the Infinity Stones back to their own time. And he has to bring Mjolnir back. Mjolnir. Instead of coming back to the present after he's done, he decides not to. Which is awesome, kind of closes the door on his story. He goes back in time and lives his life with Peggy Carter.
And he gets old.
So there's not going to be any more Captain America movies, sadly.
Well,
unless it's with Sam.
Yeah. He turns Captain America he gives Falcon the job of Captain America.
Yeah.
He gives him the shield, and he's like, "It's your job now." Which I'm interested in how they're going to play that off because.
Isn't the new Disney Channel gonna have like a Falcon?
I don't know.
It's gonna be Falcon and Winter Soldier, right?
I don't know.
I don't know. Disney Channel, or the new Disney app's gonna have a whole bunch of fucking shows.
I'm really surprised they went with the Falcon direction instead of the Winter Soldier direction. I think everybody expected the Winter Soldier to take over.
Yeah.
He's got the super soldier serum in him.
Right, and Falcon is just a guy with wings.
Well, Sebastian Stan, the Winter Soldier, is kind of a stiff actor.
Yeah.
Glad they gave it to Sam. We'll see where it goes. So you're not going to see Iron Man again. You're not going to see.
You won't see Tony Stark again.
That's true.
You might see Iron Man.
Well, I still think that Peter Parker could end up being the next Iron Man, and it's not even in the comics. I doubt it, but
when Peter Parker got to school and he was talking to his little friend and his friend, they were just like crying and
makes you wonder. Like, did
he must have not have disappeared?
Right.
What was his friend's name? I love him. They should have had more of him in the movie. Even though I can't think of his name.
Yeah, I can't think of his name.
But he's wonderful.
Definitely plan on seeing the movie probably a couple more times in the theater.
Mm-hmm. Now that we've seen it, we can have popcorn and drinks.
I didn't go to the bathroom once.
Really?
We're so proud.
Wow.
He did Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah, Thursday I sat the entire 3 hours and 1 minute.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I was involved, and it's much better the second time out after you've processed everything, and now you're.
How much pain were you in at the end of the movie on Thursday when you saw it?
I didn't have to if I didn't have a drink, I didn't have to pee.
Nice.
Friday I had to pee I had a drink and then I had to pee.
So you've already seen it Friday? You saw it Thursday and Friday and today?
I saw it within 12 hours.
Oh, you didn't see it today.
We were going to see it again today, but my ears just jacked up. Yeah, I'm dealing with an ear infection, people. It's not going well.
All right, well, we're going to go watch Game of Thrones, episode 3 of season 8.
And just probably sit and cry the entire time.
I may not cry, but I'm going to be I'm curious to see which direction they're going to go with it. I'm going to cry if. Yeah, I probably will cry. Fuck it. I mean, I'm just like, well, this character, this character, this character, this character. I'm like, I love them all. That's how good writing goes. If they kill your boy, Reek.
Theon.
Yeah. If they kill Theon, I'm not going to hurt.
No.
Nah.
But I tell you, if they kill out, like, some of the woohoo characters.
Like Sir Davos, I
I
want to be
may
upset
not
if they killed
bawl
Davos.
like that woman did during Endgame. That was just a little much. Like, oh, it's sad Tony's dying. That sucks. Like, oh. But then it turned into chuckles because she was just.
It was like
Bawling.
Tony Stark was her father or something.
Yeah.
She was.
It was pretty bad.
Yeah, some people think this is more than what it is.
And then that one other person going to the hospital
Oh,
What?
because she was so overwhelmed with the movie.
Really?
Yes, like, come
What-
on, people.
I wish my life was that simple where Tony Stark dying is the end of my world. That means I have no other fucking worries. All right, people. We're going to go watch Game of Thrones. Starts in 2 minutes. Thank you for listening to this extended episode. I am Ryan.
I'm Rick.
RnR thanks you.
And we cut her off.
We love our special guest, Kristen.
Yeah.
And we got to go. This is one where everyone dies.
Bye.